Welcome to Vegeta Saiyan Army. Thank you for liking, thank you for watching and subscribing. I am here today with Ken. Ken, say what's up to everybody real quick.
Yo, what's up, VSA?
So today I do want to make a budget video, right? And I think it's important to have budget videos, not just for broke people, not just for new people. Of course, if you do want to save money, of course, if you're new, this is good. But I think it's a good point of entry for competitive people who play other colors that want to get into red. You know, if you're playing competitively and you're buying all these staples that are really expensive and you don't like the color eventually after testing it, it doesn't hurt as much when you feel like you want to abandon it. Maybe you're like, oh, you know what, King Vegeta's not for me, and I bought like $400 worth of cards. This sucks. I have to sell it. Fuck it. I'm gonna quit Dragon Ball. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like a lot of other problems with people leaving the game comes from the price gap. And I think it's smart when people just pick a color. Like every set, they just have the blue staples and they only play blue, whatever. So if you're migrating from color to color, or if you're trying to cross that threshold from beginner, like if your goal is like, you know what, I want to go to locals, this is a good place to be. If your goal is to, you've been watching videos and you've been watching the videos that people topping and whatever, and you just want to go to locals now, or you want to top locals, this is a good place to start. And we're starting it with King Vegeta because I think that King Vegeta has the closest gap from his competitive side to his budget side. I think he's the best deck in the game. I think he has like hard matchups. I think he has bad matchups, but I think he has the best spread. And I could argue that he's the best deck in the game. And he keeps a lot of his strengths from his competitive build in his budget build because his strengths are very inherent. So, going into the strengths, and this is what we're going to lean into on the budget side. And these are strengths that he keeps, even though he's not using a lot of money to build the deck. Number one, early life burn. He can burn the life early, and that promotes a lot of aggression, right? So when your opponent knows that you're going to take him to 4 no matter what, they're going to take that life. And then when you swing after they get to 4, it's gonna mean a lot more. It's going to put a lot of pressure. And you don't need to run the expensive promos to burn their life. The invaders do that for free. Number 2, the power minusing on the backside. So number 1 was aggression. Number 2, the power minusing on the backside, that neg stuff, if something else gets negged, that's a very good control ability. And that makes it one of the best control decks in the game, you know? Because once you get them down to 4, you can just lean on them and then play a control game. That's really good, especially with all the tools Red has. Number 3, it sees 3 to 4 super combos consistently. Consistently is like the important word. You're gonna see your super combos every game. Think about if you play a lot of games, how many times do you say, damn, he won because he just drew 4 super combos, or I just didn't see any super combos. Imagine all of those games if you had all your super combos. You would never lose those little bullshit games you lost. You would always have those games where like you would have lost, but if you had 3 super combos, you would have won it. This deck gives that consistency to the ratio of games you would win. It increases your KDR, I guess, your total KDR, I would say, for the for your matches that you play. Number 4, it's a red. It's red. It's a Saiyan, and it's Vegeta's lineage. It's important to look at this. I know it doesn't seem important, but being a red leader is a strength. Same with us being a Saiyan, same with being Vegeta's lineage, because this is probably going to get some support later. This has support now. People are leaning into red-green, so if you ever do want to make this budget build Vegeta's lineage, it's an option. It's important to think about that. Keep your mind open when you're building a deck. Look at the attributes and the traits on it. Number 5, it draws on both sides. That seems minuscule, but to me it's important. And it has dual awakening. So the drawing on the front side grabs a super combo or any Saiyan, right? That adds to the consistency. And on the dual awakening, it means that it awakens if your opponent's life is at 4, or if you meet your own conditions. So like you're gonna awaken either way, and I love that about the leader. All of these things don't need to be there. You know, all of these things don't need to be there just because you have a lot of money or not. These are just inherent for the leader. So first, Ken, before you take it away, this is Ken's build. And Ken's build, I actually like a lot more than mine. When I told him to build it, because I'm going to show you guys my build and Ken's build. This is Ken's budget build of King Vegeta. Take it away. And why don't you tell everybody why it is that I like your build so much?
Yeah, hey, what's up? Yeah, I think the biggest thing is the unison with the skillless package. Frank really likes that. He's used it in other decks, and I think with King Vegeta, it's kind of cool because if you don't have cards like Switching Gears, which is a very pricey card, and you want to be able to put that early aggression on with the deck, this is a great option because you can play, for example, if you have, your best hand, you can start the game with Bodyguard Legic. You play an invader on your opponent's side, you're on the draw. You draw, you play Bodyguard Legic. Now you got one body on the board. For one energy, you put down Saiyan Scions. You swing with the Unison to get your first attack in, and then you -1, and it lets you play 2 skillless from the deck or drop area, which is really good. So then you have your 2 Vegeta skillless from your deck that you're going to play. Now you have 2 more swings, 2 more 10k swings. From there you can also, something we were talking about and discussing, from there you can use your Young Invaders field card to search an invader and put them on your side of the board. And right there, for 1 energy, you now have your Bond. You also have the Legic on board, you have your 2 Vegetas, and you have your Saiyan Scion, and you have your Leader Swing as well, which is going to search you a card. So, from there, you can do a lot more. You can even keep going on that 1 energy. You can Bell mod. You could theoretically then awaken if you hit your opponent down to 4 life and have another energy open to keep going with swings, which is insane. And I think that's a really cool engine, which gives you aggression for a very, we're talking about budget. So for the cost of this deck, it gives you a lot of aggression for little dollar.
Yeah, and also he has the Bardic the Resolute. That card's like Sense. It's a one of. One thing that you guys may see here, the most expensive card here, I think, is King Vegeta's Imposing Presence.
It is, yeah.
It's $4, I think. I could be
yeah,
wrong.
like $5 roughly. Yeah.
And the Kawa's Awakening is here as a great defensive tool and also a tool to bring up Heartfelt Plea. Now, Heartfelt Plea was reprinted as a common, right? So
Yep. So there was a Rata packs that were given out a little while ago, and they that is one of the common cards that was reprinted, and those are Rata packs.
Right, so we're gonna add that on this video simply because it's an errata pack, and that card it doesn't have the foiling, so it's gonna be a lot cheaper. I love his like skillless swarm. I love that. It's gonna meet the Bond 3. It's Red Saiyans. You can change the ratios here with whatever you want. Once they start banning these free cards that some of us were showing here, this deck can still be really good budget. You just pivot into the Jiren Unison, You pivot into some of the greater defensive control cards Red has. But when that day comes, we'll post that video. But as of right now, the build for the budget deck is honestly Ken's. This is the build to do. It has the big finisher. It has a lot of early aggression. I think Ken's is the way to go. To be completely honest with you guys, I like my deck. I'll show you guys my deck in a second, but this is the way. So rolling into my deck, he doesn't play the Broly chain. As you guys see, I play it. I think it's great because turn 2, when you use this Broly, it's like a Crown of Retribution Broly that swings for 19k and has barrier. So if you're doing the budget build, you can lean into that. I like having 2 Vegeta, 2 Brolys because I have the split, and also they have unique, so you want to deal that second life. 4 Bodyguard Legic. I want to give credit to where credit is due. Ken came up with that, but the first person that did that competitively was Legends. So props to him. Andrew Duvall was the first person on top with it. I saw Juha Bak play it, Eddie St. Hilaire. The deck has evolved. On a budget level, however, you're going to see a very different take. It's just so easy to run 4 Legic turn 1 because when you give him an invader, it's free, right? Mercenary Tau, free. Okay, one thing I do run in my deck, and even in my competitive deck, is Gine at her husband's side. It's a card that I'm in love with. I love these defensive cards that give you an extra 5k combo or 6k combo on defense. It's amazing. So basically, what Gine does is it's a draw one that's 15,000 power defensively. That's honestly what she is. You can read her to understand her if you want. And offensively, she's a 10k power that draws one. We're not running Raditz because Raditz is a little bit expensive, but you can do that if we don't know your budget. So we just went as cheap as possible. Heroine's Lineage. That's the most expensive card here. You don't have to run it, but if you're running budget builds, everyone should own one Heroine's Lineage. It's $40 and it's the best secret rare in the game, and every deck can run it. There's an argument to be made that this deck is so fast that it doesn't have to use secret rares. Legends said that, and it's so true. So as you can see, everything here is free. Yamcha, Merciless Barrage. I'm running at 3. By the way, I'm talking about the reprint that comes in the starter deck for Vegeta. The starter deck Vegeta, that version is a lot cheaper. I am running the 1-drop Unison. I was thinking, if I'm getting to turn 3, maybe turn 2, whatever, playing this 1-drop Unison is really good, because it's just like a beefy 1-drop. It's a 1-drop 15k kind of like, barrier deflect battle card in a way. I know it's a Unison. Just be careful. It doesn't give you Bond. It doesn't give you a Red Saiyan, but it does have crazy abilities. It's great in the mirror match as well. And it does make Yamcha Merciless Barrage live. Also, it's $1. So, like, it's a really cheap... if you're playing a bunch of 1-drops, like, a lot of people like playing, like, the Bardock's Crew stuff, just play him. He's, like... he's another great 1-drop, right? And, again, the Bardock's Crew is another way to go, but we really just filled this deck with the free cards. Testing the Opposition might be the best negate in the game right now. Like, everyone's using it, so that's there as well. If you guys have questions about these decks, go to Vegeta Saint Army. Go to the Facebook page, ask us, hey, I saw the budget list video, can we build this control? Can we build it like this? I have this much money, I have these cards, what can I do with this? It's whatever. We're trying to make the game accessible to people that are new, people that are beginners. If maybe not everyone's in the same place, it's great to see people topping with crazy decks, but it's great. It's also good to know that you can't just get there by copying the deck. Net decking does help if you're good enough, but it's also great to discover your own deck. And I like to sink my teeth into a deck and build it myself, and then once I know how it works, then I can net deck because I see where they're coming from, right? If you guys would like to power up, if you guys want to level up, go Super Saiyan, whatever. If you guys want to upgrade the deck, because you tried it, you tried the budget build, and you're like, you know what, I think it's a safe investment, right? I recommend Raditz, Young Invader. I recommend Chain Attack Bardock, Super Saiyan Vegeta switching gears, Super Saiyan Bardock fighting against Fate. This is going to replace the Overrealm, some of the other cards, and once you have these cards, these are the cards that make the deck expensive, in my opinion. The rest of the cards are a lot more expensive. But, yeah, Ken, do you have any thoughts on the deck? Do you have any thoughts on the power-up cards, I guess, that they can use, or anything else?
Yeah, I agree with you. I think in terms of budget, I don't know if there's anything budget-wise that you can add to the deck, but there are great competitive options, obviously. There's been some great deck profiles out. Obviously, the promos are well worth the money if you can afford them. The Vegeta switching gears, it's a free play card. It filters your deck. It does everything you want it to do. Outside of that, Chain Attack Bardock, like you said, and again, to touch on secret rares, like you just said too, I do agree. Heroine's Lineage, if you're gonna go for any secret rare to afford, that is the one. It's like $40-$50. It does what you need it to do. I can't say enough good things about it. So I would say definitely invest in that one if you can.
Yeah, and one great thing about the deck, again, it's so good control as well that if they do happen to ban the Belmods, the Taos, the Bardock, the Resolutes, the Bodyguard Legex, it's still the kind of deck that will deal damage early, you know what I mean? And it's still a type of deck that's very control heavy. So if that ever happens and we cross that bridge, we'll have a budget build for it. But we have other budget builds ready. If you guys want a deck that you'd like to see a budget build for, comment down below. Let me know. Let us know if you want to see a budget. It doesn't have to be Vegeta. I know we're Vegeta State Army, but we're here to help everybody. So if you guys have something that you'd like to see, let us know. But for now, from me and Ken, we're here signing out. And like and subscribe and all that bullshit. And we'll see you next time. Let's get it.